This episode is What No Glasto and the search for lost venues. Welcome to When the Fight Did I Become Old, the fun, edgy and unapologetically honest podcast about the experiences of ageing, whereas the title suggests nothing is off the table. And I am your host, Jo Parker.
I'm Kev, and this week we're taking a look back at a number of festivals that we've been to, because this point in the year, mid to late June, traditionally Glastonbury festival time. But this year there is no Glasto. Glasto is taking a fallow year, so every 5 years Glastonbury has a year off.
Why?
So the fields of Worthy Farm can recover from the sheer carnage and trauma that takes place every single year when they go there.
And it always is a mud bath, isn't it? So
invariably you get the odd year where it's dry. But that 5-day marathon takes its toll on Worthy Farm. So every 5 years they have a fallow year. Now, Glasto started in 1970.
Did it? Wow. Did it really?
So it's been going 56 years.
Wow.
Do you know, or would you like to guess, who the first headline act was at Glastonbury?
In 1970?
In 1970.
No, I don't know. Hang on. 1970. Would it have been the Rolling Stones?
No, it was a bit too unknown to be fair for the Stones. So the Kinks. The Kinks headlined, and the festival actually took place, I think it was 19th September, which was the day after Jimi Hendrix died.
19th of when?
September.
September. So not the early June.
No, it was originally autumn.
Okay, interesting.
So anyway, no Glasto this year.
Yeah.
And so we thought, let's take a stroll down memory lane, because we've been to a number of festivals.
Yeah, we have.
Including Glastonbury.
Well, you have, yeah.
And talk about some of those things which, as we haven't got a festival this month, we remembered, and there's some stories associated with each of those festivals. But before we get to that, there's an exhibition which, by sheer coincidence, started 2 weeks ago at the V&A about music, live music, and the loss of live music venues. So they've done an exhibition about the loss of 50 significant live music venues in the UK. And so we went last weekend.
We did.
To have a look.
We did.
And it's a bit sad, the loss of live music venues, but there's an industry association called the Nighttime Industries Association. And from their stats, they said that 25% of late night venues in the UK closed between 2020 and 2025. Wow. Which is huge.
Well, that's big. That's COVID related, isn't it?
In the wake of COVID, yeah. And some of the ones that we've lost, when we went and we saw, they had the original sign from the Astoria.
They
night.
did,
So there's a whole bunch of music venues which we've lost in London over the recent years, but the Astoria Theatre was one of them, and underneath it, LA2, London Astoria 2. Round the corner was the Borderline, which we used to go to.
Yeah.
Now, we lost all of those because of the Elizabeth line. They needed to dig up that entire site.
Of course.
That entire corner of Tottenham Court Road.
Oh, wow.
That you lost 3 venues in one fell swoop because they had to dig a giant hole for the Elizabeth line. So so apart from those, Madame Jojo's, you remember Madame Jojo's?
I do.
I mean, when I was a student, Madame Jojo's was a thing to go to on a Friday night in Soho. So that's gone. The Rainbow Theatre. We saw exhibits at the exhibition at V&A, actually, from the Hacienda.
We did.
Hacienda, obviously legendary factory records based in Manchester at the Hacienda. So that's lost. And when you think about some of the live music venues that we have lost, there are some that we have like personal memories of, which are a little bit sad that they've gone. So you've got one.
Well, yeah, it's not lost. It's not gone.
Okay.
So, but it is changed for me significantly. So back in the 80s, I hung out. I can't say he's a close mate, but I hung out with Simon Parkes, and Simon Parkes bought the Brixton Academy for £1 when he was 23. It was on the market for 120,000, but no one would touch it because it was in Brixton. And those days, Brixton wasn't the best place to hang out, clearly. He promised, he knew he didn't have 120,000, but he did promise the brewery he bought it from that he would sell their beers for the next 10 years. And then when he first started, and I didn't know this because I didn't actually go to it until there was some bigger bands playing. But he started to, there were reggae bands playing, obviously because it's Brixton.
Yeah.
But what he managed to do was, when he went to the States, he managed to persuade the Red Hot Chili Peppers to play there. Because they didn't know how dangerous Brixton was. So they played there. He had something, I think Arthur Scargill had a party there with The Clash, and it kind of grew from there, and it became, I mean, the place to go to. So and everybody queue up at the box office and get your tickets. And some of the bands also did their practices there. I remember seeing Wham, who did their last gig practice, and they opened it up at the Brixton Academy. So there were some really super bands. And did you see some bands at
I've been to Brixton
before it was the O2? You must have done.
I've been to Brixton so many times. I mean, absolute legendary gigs at the Academy.
Brilliant.
So the first and only time I've ever seen the Smiths, Brixton Academy.
When was that? In the 80s?
That was 87.
Yeah, so that's Simon
86.
Yeah.
Might have been winter of 86, actually.
So he owned it until the 90s. And then when rave came in, he just decided, I've had enough.
The Ramones, the loudest gig I've ever been to.
You start bleeding.
Was the Ramones at Brixton Academy. Yeah. And that is the only gig that I've ever been in where you're in the main auditorium and it was so deafeningly loud, right? Yeah. That halfway through the set, I actually had to leave the auditorium and go to where the merch stall was in the foyer.
To dab up your blood from
just to hide from the intensity of the sound, because it was a little bit insulated in the foyer.
Yeah.
Before you kind of brace yourself to go back in. I don't know what they did with the PA, but the Ramones is the loudest gig I've ever heard. I mean, louder than Muse, louder than the Foo Fighters, louder than anything. It's like, I don't know what they were doing. They turned it up to 11.
Yeah.
B-52s.
Yeah.
Saw B-52s at Brixton Academy.
He did have some really good bands there,
and I was filmed in a music video at the Brixton Academy.
Really?
For Frankie Goes to Hollywood. I was.
Okay.
I was in a Frankie video.
Relax.
In like 1980. I was 85, I think it was actually.
Okay.
So it wasn't a promo video that you're going to see on Top of the Pops or whatever.
So what was it?
It was Holly Johnson needed to do some rehearsals. Okay. And MTV, I think, were looking for some supplemental footage.
All right. B-roll, as it's called.
Of live audience stuff.
Yeah.
So he did like bits of Two Tribes and bits of other bits and pieces, but I don't know where it was used. But I can remember doing the call up and standing. It was like a November snow, just standing in the fucking snow in Brixton, queuing outside, hoping to be let in to be in a video of Frankie Goes to Hollywood. So so Brixton, have a lot of fond memories. Yeah. I mean, it got shut down recently, didn't it?
Yeah, but that's nothing to do with Simon. He he sold it in the 90s when he just was.
And you've got some venue memories from Australia.
So it's the same vibe, in as much as the venues in the 70s and 80s were kind of more intimate, weren't they? They were, and therefore, and I lived in Sydney in the 80s, and it was a smaller place, and you could literally go out and meet the stars that were on tour. So one of my favourite memories with a girlfriend of mine called Alex, who has got what we call celebrity Tourette's. That's when she sees a celebrity, she sings their songs to them. We were in... she was in a pub in a place called Paddington in Sydney, in the London pub. And I went down there because actually it was on the same road that I lived in at that time. And Alex was in there. I mean, she was feet away from Dave Stewart of the Eurythmics. And I actually saw them, but he was touring and he was hanging out in the pub, singing his songs to him, which is something that she did, which was hilarious for us to watch. And I'm not sure Dave was that impressed. But so you could meet people. And we've met, I mean, it's not somebody that I would actually buy tickets for, but we met Simply Red. They gave us tickets. We did some really cool little pubs in Coogee Bay and stuff where we saw Mental as Anything. Last week, you mentioned some of the songs in Rivals, right?
Yeah.
Mental as Anything was one of the ones.
Yeah, it was in Rivals.
Absolutely. So, and Midnight Oil, and sadly I didn't get to see In Excess, but it was not necessarily I have a venue that I can pick, but the fact that Sydney was small, the venues were intimate, and you could meet the stars on the streets type thing, was something that is like Gone. It's definitely gone.
So there's a couple more London ones that I can think of that I used to spend time at, though, which are here no more, which is a bit sad, actually. So Borderline, we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
So the Borderline used to have very, very small unknown bands, but was actually probably most successful for like indie club nights. And we went to our first indie club night together.
We did,
2019.
Yep.
At the Borderline. And it was brilliant. And it got shut down when they dug a big hole for the Elizabeth line. Hammersmith Palais no longer exists, right? That was a small venue, probably the same sort of size as Shepherd's Bush Empire, so like 1500-ish type thing. And I saw Big Country supporting U2 on the War Tour. And that was ridiculous because at the time, Big Country were huge. They were absolutely massive. So,
what year was that?
So the War Tour, Jesus Christ, I'm going to go 86, I reckon. Maybe 85.
I might challenge you on that one because I saw Big Country in 86.
Did you? So,
not supporting U2.
Right. Okay. So anyway, 2 top acts there.
Yeah.
Same bill in a ridiculously small venue. Like, when is that going to happen again? Never. No. So where did you see Big Country?
So it was at Knebworth. So my best concert I've ever been to, Knebworth, 1986.
Right.
Queen.
Yeah.
I mean, Freddie was at the top of his game. Unfortunately, he wasn't very well, but he just, a year after he'd done Live Aid, he was at top performer. There's like 140,000 people in Knebworth that year. And my flatmate knew Freddie. So he got tickets. It weren't particularly brilliant tickets, but we got tickets. But Freddie, so he was brilliant. But they were supported by Big Country and Status Quo. So it was like, some big names there and a gig. So yeah, it was my favourite. So I know that it wasn't, the War Tour wasn't on in 1986 because Big Country was supporting somebody else.
Maybe it was earlier. I think it was, trying to think it through. War Tour. No, because I bought merch. I had the War t-shirt.
Did you?
Yeah.
You still got it?
Yeah. No,
box somewhere.
No. Jesus Christ, it wouldn't fit. I mean, seriously, I weighed about 10 stone in those days. So moving on to the festivals thing then, right? Yeah. So again, not far from that time period.
Yeah.
So the first festival I ever went to
was
Glastonbury, 1987.
Well, technically, did you go to that one?
Well, so I've got the flyer here, right? So,
but did you actually kind of go properly?
This is the line. This is the official flyer and lineup for Glastonbury 87, right?
Right.
And we the headline act for us, it was Saturday night. We weren't there for like 3-4 days. We were there for one day.
There.
Yeah.
You broke in.
Well, okay, we'll get to that. So how did I end up going to Glastonbury 87?
Yeah.
So I was at uni. It was my final year.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, we'd finished term. Final year, I graduated in 87.
In Bath.
Mm. So Glastonbury was not very far away. And one of my housemates suggested that as we were hanging around, we were waiting for the graduation ceremony. So you're hanging around for a few weeks at uni with literally nothing to do, waiting for a graduation ceremony eventually with your parents to turn up and you can throw your hats in the air. So meanwhile, he said, why don't we go to Glastonbury? And I was like, well, I haven't got a ticket. He said, you don't need a ticket. So the two of us drove to a village on the periphery of the Worthy Farm estate, parked my car, which was a Talbot Horizon.
What colour?
Green. I think it was 1.3 litre. It was pretty pokey.
Yeah.
I was pretty impressed.
To be if you're going to make an escape.
Yeah. And so we parked next to a cemetery in this village, and then we snuck through farmers' crops, right? We had to crawl through crops, across streams.
You're kidding.
No, across more crops to the perimeter fence of Glastonbury, which we then scaled and jumped over the other side down into the festival. And this was all because he was going to meet a mate there, blah, 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 blah. So fine. We met a mate there. I think we only saw about 3 bands that I can remember, because one of the reasons he was meeting his mate there was to acquire some
stuff,
some wacky backy, and we were stoned quite a bit of the day.
Really?
So
at a festival in the 80s.
We saw the Wooden Tops, and the headline act was Elvis Costello, which was why we were there that night.
Not the Wooden Tops, like that was the nursery.
No, the Wooden Tops. And then I think we saw the Communards as well.
Oh, cool.
Had you been there the previous day, we could have seen New Order.
Yeah. But the Communards, and did you say Elvis Costello? Fan?
Yeah. Elvis was quite big at that time.
I liked it.
So that was headline act. And then when it was all over, we obviously had to break out.
Right? So you couldn't go out the exit?
If we had done, we'd never have found the fucking car.
Okay.
So we had to go back, break over the fence.
The way you came?
Yeah. Back through the fields. Stoned, across the stream, back through the other farmers' fields, get into the car, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And then, I don't know, this is like 1 a.m, right? You're like, now we'll drive back to Bath, right? And so we drove back past the main gate of Glastonbury, the main gate of the site. Police roadblocks, looking for drugs. So we get pulled over, and wind the window down, and the officer's he can smell, right? He's like, have you two been smoking anything? No, sir. No, not me, sir. And he's like, are either of you, are you in possession of any illegal substances? And I was like, no, but he is. and ratted out my mate in the passenger seat, who looked like he was a reject from Dex's Midnight Runners, with like dungarees and all this shit, and like big bib in the dungarees full of Golden Virginia, Rizzlers, and some illegal substances.
Did you get done?
Well, so then they stripped the car, right? So we had to get out of the car, because they were like, well, we have to search the car for the rest of the drive. We haven't got any more. I thought, this is it. It's just for personal consumption. We haven't. So we're on the right side of the road, and they're like stripping the car out. And then eventually they conclude there are no other drugs. And they decide to let us go, because
even though you're stoned and you're driving a car.
It was the 80s.
Yeah.
Right. So we drive home,
True.
Crash out, wake up about 11 o'clock the next morning, put on Sunday morning hangover TV, Channel 4. There's a special on drugs busts at Glastonbury and the roadblock operation overnight, and how successful it's been. And we're sitting there watching, going, fuck, oh, shit. Are we going to go on telly? Well, I'm going to tell my mum.
Bright green Talbot.
We didn't see the car on telly, no, so I think we got away with it. But the thing that makes that entire story sort of even more incredible is that my friend subsequently became a minister of the church.
And the one buying the dope.
So, so that was my first. That was my first festival ever.
Yeah.
Glastonbury, 87. And then the sort of next big one that I remember was Virgin V97.
Yeah.
Now, the V Festival is a twin site festival, for those of you who don't know. And I've got the lineup for this. Now, some of these old festivals, by the way,
the
lineups were absolutely mental. You look at them and you go, you could never do this today. So this is the lineup. To V97, right? 2-day festival.
Yeah.
I went there with a mate. So having gone from first festival, don't stay over, drive back illegally and go back to your student flat. This one, stay over in a tent.
Oh, my idea of a nightmare.
Tent and my Jeep, so combination of sleeping in the Jeep. Now get this. This is just ridiculous, right? So here, line up for V97. Blur, Cooler Shaker, Dodgy, Reef, Teenage Fan Club, James, Ash, Manson, Monaco, which is the ex-New Order band.
All right.
Peter Hook's band. The Chemical Brothers, Prodigy, Foo Fighters, Beck, Placebo.
Bloody hell.
Echo and the Bunnymen. I mean, in 2 days.
Wow.
That's like 14 gigs in 2 days. So, I mean, that was just amazing. We did sleep in a tent. I wasn't wild about it. There was a bit of snoring from my partner in crime.
Sure, there's a bit of smoke from other people
longing
as well.
up was just unbelievable. And that was a game changer, I think, really for me, in terms of going, wow, okay, like this is that just is a ridiculous.
So I don't like the idea of. I've never liked the idea of camping. So the idea of going to a festival, I have to camp. No, this is why I never did a festival until I met you.
Right, and so your favourite festival then, since
let's be my favourite festival. I've done the same festival twice.
Okay, well that's 2.
Yeah, so I've done Rock on Seine twice. So we did it in 2019, and for me, and then
I've got the flyer here.
Have you?
I have.
And then for me,
have a look at that.
The reason it was so good is because we stayed in a 5-star hotel. So
that's 2019.
Okay, so. The Cure, I mean, there's quite a lot. The Cure, Johnny Marr, Georgia Smith, who we didn't see, Foals, Royal Blood, Two Door Cinema, Sam Fender. Those are the ones that were really good. But
and that's still pretty strong.
Still pretty strong. And there's loads of others. You madly keen on The Cure.
Man.
I really, really enjoyed Royal Blood, Sam Fender and Foals. I really enjoyed Foals for a different reason, though.
And would you like to share?
I'd love to share that.
Why
back to the drugs
Foals
thing as well.
So
and I've got a photographic proof of you with having got stoned, but we were right in the centre of everything. It was the last gig of the day, and it was the middle of it. It was nighttime, and there were loads.
It was about 80 degrees.
Loads of people smoking.
It was the sunniest, warmest festival you could ever imagine.
Yeah, it was absolutely fab because it had all the vibe of the sort of like 80s. That whole sort of like whole free. Summer, smoking dope. We weren't, but
we didn't need to.
There were some key signs of you being stoned because we're on the way out. A massive sweet store. I've got photographs of you with the eyes the size of saucers, picking out the biggest sweets you can possibly find at midnight.
So when we were in that sort of just back from the mosh pit for Foals, right?
Yeah.
The air was. There wasn't any air. There was a haze. There was a haze
absolutely
between you and the stage.
Yeah, it was.
And it was so strong. You were just like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and it was for you.
And it was like that for about an hour.
Easily.
I mean, it was the whole set was just absolutely, Jesus, is anybody here not smoking? It's just ridiculous. Yeah, us, yeah. Vicariously.
So that was my, by far the best way to do a festival is to.
But I have to say that festival, because I've been a number of times, that's the way to do it. Now, I know it's a bit bougie, right? Mm-hmm. But the fact they've got a mum cordon rouge tent, and I'm not even joking.
I'm not even joking.
That just sells mum cordon rouge in champagne glasses. Would you like an ice bucket, sir? Fuck yes. Mm-hmm. And then they have wine bars in the site with a selection of decent quality Rhone Valley, Provence Rosé, selection of, would you like that in a picture, sir? How many glasses would you like? It's fucking 5-star. I fucking love Rock on Seine. It's amazing. If anyone wants to go, it's halfway between Versailles and Paris.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So that's
my only experience of a festival, because as I say, I wouldn't do camping. Oh, we did it twice. So 2023, 24. So yeah.
So my next one then, or have you got something you want to share with the listeners?
Have I got something I want to share with the listeners? Okay, so yeah, I do actually. But thanks for reminding me. I need to ask you before we take a look at other memorable festivals that we've been to, etc. I wanted to ask you, please share. To help us, because it makes a difference. Follow, subscribe. When the Fuck Did I Become Old on Apple, Spotify, Deezer, Amazon, YouTube. If you just like and share it with your friends, that'd be great. Thank you very much. And if you want to actually share your memories of what festivals and what music venues you went to, that'd be fab. Thank you.
Cool. So my next festival then, that is particularly memorable, V2002.
Okay, what I think I know.
Moving on from V97, right?
Yeah.
Now, again, let's talk lineup here, shall we? So I've got the flyer for V2002. right? There's the V 2002 lineup.
Okay.
Now, what do we have here? Chemical Brothers, Primal Scream, Stereophonics, Travis, Supergrass, Nickelback, Groove Armada,
Ooh.
Elvis Costello.
He's back again.
Doves, Ian Brown, because at that point in time, Stone Roses had broken up.
All right.
The Beta Band.
Don't know them.
The Beta Band, loved by David Bowie.
Okay.
From Paris, the Beta Band.
All right.
Quite a good lineup. Not as strong as V97, but quite a good lineup. Now, why is V2002 encased in my memory? Because that was actually my stag do.
I know.
And having thought about the evolution of gigs, and as you say, I tried the tent thing.
You did try the tent thing.
I did the tent thing once.
And the break-in thing.
And the break-in thing. So I thought, you got to move up the value chain a little bit, right? Yeah. So as it was my stag do, and there was going to be between 6 and 8 of us, I was like, okay, well, if we're going to go do a festival, like we need to do it in some style. And I'd seen previously that obviously all the bands have these Winnebagos and giant motorhomes, etc., behind the stage, right? So I was like, okay, you must be able to rent a Winnebago or something, surely, for the festival. So I found out what company all the bands used to get their motorhomes, and I called them, and I said, I need a motorhome for V 2000.
So a star.
And they're like, well, it's cost you a bit. How many people do you want to sleep? Told them. And they were like, I was thinking they would just like literally give me a big Winnebago or something, and I could like drive it there. Like a coach,
Yeah.
And when I said, well, I need to sleep 6 to 8, they were like, oh, okay. You're going to need one with a 5th wheel. And I was like,
what's that?
What's a 5th wheel? And it's basically one of these giant 6-wheeler cabs that is like an articulated lorry.
They clunk
and
down.
It delivers it.
All right.
Because the thing's too big to be driven. It's an articulate, and it's one of these things with like hydraulic ramps where once you deposit it, it goes sideways and like doubles and triples in width, right? The thing becomes like a city on legs, right? So they were like, yeah, it's this one, and it was quite pricey, but I was like, fuck it, it's stag do, so let's go for it. And I was like, where are you going to park it? Oh, well, I have to park it in the VIP area because it's the only way in for a vehicle that size. Oh, okay. Did we get tickets? Yeah. Okay, right.
Now
can we park cars there? Yeah, you can park your cars.
We can put your car in and park beside
it. Yeah, so we all parked our cars next to I say next to, it wasn't there. We arrived before it arrived. Right. But anyway, as we're going through the negotiation process of how much money it is and blah, 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 and how many people and all this kind of stuff, he was like, what's the date again? I was like, it's this date here. And he's like, yeah, okay, no, we've got a big one coming back. Yeah. Was coming back the week before. You could have that one. I'm like, where's it coming back from? He said, Fatboy Slim and Zoe Ball. They've got it for Glastonbury. So I've slept in Fatboy Slim and Zoe Ball's motorhome from Glastonbury.
But it actually belongs to them, or you've just used the
they
same
rented
one?
it. They rented it. So they rented it they were doing Glasto, right? And so we had it for my stag do. So we had Fatboy Slim and Zoe Ball's motorhome. And it was ridiculous. We had hot showers, we had fridges, we had TV, we had everything. And it was absolute total luxury.
That is the way to do a festival.
That is the way to do a stag do.
Yeah.
That is the way
and a festival. Yeah, and absolutely. Yeah.
So so that's kind of why I think I remember that. Also, Virgin by then, 2002, Virgin Mobile had been set up and was going mental on sponsorship, right? So this is how bougie this is. Virgin Mobile had tents all over the site for you to charge your phone. You could just go into the Virgin Mobile tent and go, oh, I'll just plug that in. Can I have a drink? Thanks very much. So now that kind of phone charging shit is ubiquitous these days. Everywhere you go, there's phone charge. But in 2002, it was like, oh my God, they've got a mobile phone charging tent. It's amazing.
Let's go.
So that was V 2002.
Yeah.
Now, what's that then? So that's, is that August? Yes, August. Yeah, mid-August. So a week later, I got married.
Okay.
A day after the wedding, I went to Reading 2002.
Oh, you're a lucky wife.
I know, wasn't she excited? So let's have a look at the Reading lineup, shall we? Reading 2002. This is just ridiculous.
Oh, some more. Oh, okay.
Yeah. This is totally insane. So I don't know how you even do this. A 3-day festival.
Mm-hmm.
The Strokes, Pulp, White Stripes, Dandy Warhols, Foo Fighters, Muse, Ash, The Hives, Sum 41, Prodigy, Offspring, Slipknot, Puddle of Mud, for those who remember the grunge times, Feeder, Black Rebel Motorcycle Club, who I still love to this very day, Spiritualized, Kill One Shot, The Vines, I mean, The Streets. It's just really goes on and on and on. That was just an absolutely insane lineup. So we rocked up there, and we made the mistake this time of bringing girls. all the other festivals were male only attendees. Yeah.
Well, you have to bring your wife.
I say girls. We were married, wives. We brought our wives.
But it's the first day of your marriage, so you can't
first day of my marriage.
Your wife home.
So me and my best man rocked up. Me and Martin with our respective wives. They weren't too keen on the festival experience.
But why? Did you make them both
of our.
Did you make them camp?
No, fuck off. No. But both of them were quite small, right?
Oh,
so like one was 5'1", one was 5'3".
Can't see anything.
And so if you're moshing around in Reading,
you're moshing around. You're in the mosh pit.
Well, we arrived just in time for the Hives, I think, and Sum 41. So the Hives, very, very high energy.
Yeah.
Then into Sum 41. Then into Ash. Mm-hmm. Then into Muse. I mean, by now you're about like 4 hours of
walking around in the
quite violent crowd action,
absolutely.
And they were quite tiny. So they suffered a major sense of humour failure. Mm-hmm. And just as the Foo Fighters were coming on, I think we were like one song into the set, they literally had a paddy, and they were like, "Take me home now. We're leaving." And I was thinking, fucking hell, this is like going to be an amazing set from the Foo Fighters. You're fucking kidding me. So we had to leave like one song into the Foo Fighters and take the ladies home. But there you go. You can't win them with
No. But so we also read an article, didn't we, about the fact that because all the small venues, we go back to the V&A, back at the beginning, the V&A exhibitions, all the small venues are closing down. There's another sort of subsection down in the sort of Somerset area where there are other venues opening up.
So around that whole Glasto, Pilton, Bruton, Frome, that whole sort of Somerset thing, apparently it is kicking off a bit, and there are lots of smaller sort of party zones, gig venues.
But our age group, the Gen Z,
Gen X.
Sorry, Gen X. Gen Z is
not Gen Z.
We're not Gen Z. Wouldn't that be fun? Gen X, baby boomers. They're all going down there and hanging out, doing sort of mini festivals.
They are, and as are we.
Yeah, we are.
So we are going down to Frome.
We are.
Beginning of October to see Jo Whiley. So Jo Whiley is playing in Frome at the Cheese and Grain. You can't buy tickets; they're sold out.
Yeah, we tried.
You might get on the black market, maybe. You never know.
Yeah,
but Cheese and Grain in Frome, Friday, October the 2nd, I think.
Something like that. Yeah.
And we're going for her Jo Whiley's 90s Anthems Club night, which is being held in Frome, and we've got a B&B for the night.
We have,
down the road. So, and we went there because all the other venues that she played were like sold out. We couldn't get into. So all the sort of big cities.
We did try one. We tried Brighton, and it was just awful.
The venue in Brighton was rubbish, wasn't it?
It was really bad. And my kids who lived in Brighton said, "Why did you go there?" I was because she was playing, but it was she just packed out, couldn't dance. It was just deeply, deeply unpleasant. So we thought we'd give it another go because it made the whole experience awful. So we're going to try again.
So we're taking the spirit of Glastonbury with us.
We are.
We're
going to break in
October
and get stoned.
Oh, this time we have bought a ticket.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're going to keep that spirit alive over the course of the summer.
We are. Yeah.
So, hopefully that's inspired you to think about festivals you've loved,
Yeah.
venues you actually still need to support, by the way.
Yeah.
So for those that are still open, if you're thinking of going to see a band, go see them, keep the venues alive. And then if you want to go to the V&A exhibition, check out the V&A exhibition. It's on for another year. It's on until the summer of 27. So it's called Lost Music Venues. It's a bit hard to find. It's on the second floor. We struggled.
We got lost.
We got lost. You have to go through the photography exhibition, take a left, but you will find it. So yeah, check out V&A and let us know of your favourite festivals and or your favourite venues. And we'll see you next week for something completely different. Thanks.